go. Now at 6 o'clock, the latest on a shooting that left one person hurt.
We made it through a night of wind, so now what's next? Could we be seeing snowflakes? I'll tell you more coming up.
Plus, his life taken, the victim of a deadly hit and run. Tonight, that Richland family wants to find the person responsible.
Now, KAPP KVEW local news at 6.
We begin with developing news this evening. An apparent swatting prank led to at least 2 Hermiston, Oregon schools being placed on lockdown. It happened around noon today. A shots fired phone call sent authorities to Hermiston High School and sent the schools into lockdown. West Park Elementary also went into lockdown due to its close proximity to the high school. Authorities believe this is a case of swatting, which is a prank phone call meant to summon a large law enforcement response. Several schools received swatting calls today, according to authorities. The high school received clearance a half hour later to return to normal operation. And tonight we now know the identity of the deputy involved in a fatal shooting last week. According to the Yakima County Sheriff's Office, Deputy John Duggan is the official who shot and killed the suspect who was armed with a gun. Duggan has 12 years of law enforcement experience and has been with YCSO since 2014. He's since been placed on administrative leave per department policy and is subject to an administrative investigation. Also at 6, Mother Nature leaves a calling card. Powerful winds ripped through our region last night, leaving, well, quite the mess. Now we're getting ready for a huge drop in the mercury and the return of bone-chilling cold. I'm Madeline Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Jacobs. In for Jason Valentine here tonight. So let's jump right into the forecast here. You mentioned you were a little upset that you woke up this morning.
I was fully expecting some sort of odd item in my
your
front yard, but
backyard.
No free cooler, no barbecue, so next windstorm, right?
Yeah, all right, next time we'll see what our jackpot lands us in the mornings after a windstorm like that, or sends to the neighbors from your yard. Looking outside our Legend Sky Cam network there, out of the Columbia Point area of Richland over towards Yakima. Tonight we're going to see these winds that we've been dealing with this afternoon as well kind of diminish. We got a chance of some sunshine. It broke through a little bit this afternoon amongst the cloudy skies, but we will see more of those clouds roll back in tonight. But it's not going to hold the heat, and we're looking at our radar. We see those blue marks. That is snow in the higher elevations. The green area, that is rain. We've seen that kind of moving through here and there. It's going to change to more snowfall overnight tonight. There is a winter weather warning in effect right now going through tomorrow morning for the Cascades, a winter weather advisory for the Blue Mountains. So if you have to travel over those passes tonight, you're going to be seeing snowfall. Right now, 45 in the Tri-Cities. The winds, again, they're starting to calm down, about 5 miles per hour less than about 45 minutes ago. So down to 9 miles per hour for Tri-Cities. 42 degrees in Yakima and winds out of the west at 14. Yes, we did say the snow word. I'll give you more details in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jeff. New tonight, an avalanche on Kolchak Peak, which is in the Cascade Mountain Range near Leavenworth, is blamed for killing 3 people. Northwest Avalanche Center says a group of 6 got caught up in the avalanche in the backcountry on Sunday. The center says the avalanche killed 3 people and injured a 4th. Right now, that entire region is under high avalanche danger, which is a 4 out of 5. Pasco police and medical arrived to the scene of a shooting that happened late Tuesday morning on the 2600 block of West Octave Street. Police say the shooter called 911. The person who was shot was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition. Police say the person who shot the gun is being cooperative and has been detained but is not in custody. They say the men likely knew each other and this was not a random attack. A Tri-Cities family is asking their brother's killer to come forward. In the early hours of February 5th, when Rudy Madrigal was hit by a car while walking home on State Route 240. Today, his sisters told me their family will never be the same without their brother Rudy.
Why would somebody do that and just leave them there?
It's the question his family desperately wants an answer to. Who killed Rudy Madrigal? Nearly 3 weeks have passed since he was hit by a car and no one has been arrested.
Rudy was an ultimate giver. It could have been his last dollar. It could have been the last tank of gas he had. It could have been food he had. He was just the biggest giver to complete strangers.
His sisters say the father of 3 was headed home from a Richland bar and decided to walk home on State Route 240.
He had gone out for the first time in a long time with a friend. He didn't want to drive. He didn't have his wallet, his money on him, and a phone, so he couldn't call for help. So he just decided to walk home.
My brother made a mistake that night, and he paid with his life.
His sisters say, though it wasn't the wisest decision, their brother certainly did not deserve to die. Eventually, 2 young women pulled over to call for help, but it was too late. They wish the driver had stopped as well.
You may not make the best choices when something so traumatic has happened. We understand that. But unfortunately, there are still laws that have to be abided.
Although life without Rudy will never be the same, these sisters say knowing who is responsible for Rudy's death would offer a bit of closure.
We're just asking, if it's on your conscience, please come forward. If you know anything, please come forward. Justice will be served. The truth will come to light.
Rudy's sisters say they're raising money to ease the costs from his funeral, a reward for information leading to an arrest, and funds that would go to nearby bars.
Working with local bars to provide some sort of amount of money to monetarily say, hey, this is free on the house, please get home safely.
The sisters would also like to know who hit their brother, not only so they're held accountable, but
we do believe in forgiveness. We are not judges. We are not God. We are not the judicial system. We want them to be at peace because that burden is too heavy to carry.
That burden is heavy for them also.
And we don't want that because Rudy would forgive.
We'll have a link to help Rudy's family on their mission to raise awareness online at yaktrinews.com. If you have any information or maybe saw something while driving during the early morning of February 5th, please contact Washington State Patrol. A follow-up in the search for a couple wanted in Franklin County in the death of a 7-year-old boy. The U.S. Marshals Service now offers 2 $25,000 rewards for Edgar Salvador Cassian Garcia and his girlfriend, Araceli Medina. According to the Marshals Service, both are charged with aggravated murder in the first degree, rape of a child in the first degree, and assault of a child also in the first degree. They have been elevated to the list of the 15 most wanted individuals. It's the first time a couple has been placed on that list. U.S. Marshals say Cassian Garcia's daughters turned up abandoned in Tijuana with signs of alleged abuse. Investigators launched the search for the couple after the discovery last February of the remains of a 7-year-old boy in Franklin County. They now think the couple has fled to Mexico. 2 arrests have been made since the 2018 killing of Hunter Black in Kennewick, an 18-year-old who was shot and killed in what police called a targeted home invasion. KAPP-KVEW's Riley Fitzgerald says police have identified a 3rd suspect who they're looking for right now. She's tracking this investigation.
It's been more than 4 years since 18-year-old Hunter Black was killed in his home.
Sometimes when we start to investigate things, we just can't pull everything together. We'll have witnesses that will give us pieces of the puzzle, but it takes time to really get it together.
Now, Kennewick police say they've identified all 3 suspects involved in his death. The first 2 suspects were in custody for unrelated charges. Lawrence Gross was taken in last April for a separate crime in Seattle. Months later, in June, police gained probable cause to arrest Wardell Braxton, who was already in custody in the Benton County Jail. Kennewick police have identified Cavante Conley as the 3rd and final suspect in this case. According to police, they've gotten to the point that the prosecutor's office is ready to move forward with the formal charging and prosecution. Conley now has a warrant out for his arrest for the alleged crime of murder in the first degree. Police say Conley has contacted the Benton County Prosecutor's Office and confirmed the wanted status, but hasn't turned himself in.
So that's what we were told, is that that he has reached out to the prosecutor to confirm that he is in fact wanted for in connection with Hunter Black's death.
Which means closure hasn't quite come for Hunter Black's grieving family.
Any case, homicide, missing person, we don't close those cases out unless there's evidence to close it out, meaning we continue to assign those to detectives to continue to work.
Sergeant Littrell with the Kennewick Police Department says these cases don't usually take so long to close. He says for the family's sake, they would have liked to close it out a whole lot sooner. In Kennewick, Riley Fitzgerald, KAPP-KVEW Local News.
And if you have any information on the current whereabouts of Cavante Conley, the Kennewick Police are encouraging you to contact non-emergency dispatch at 509-628-0333 or provide an anonymous tip online. You can find that link on our website, yaktrinews.com. It's a deadly incident that left the community shaken. Tonight we're learning about legal action over the shooting outside the Valley Mall in Union Gap. That story is new tonight at 6:30. But first, showcasing their arts, local filmmakers will display their work at a local film festival taking place this weekend. And we'll take you to a North Idaho shooting range, and you'll see it like never before when we fly the Northwest. You're watching KAPP Local News at 6. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. The Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks, it just keeps flowing strong. And unlike ordinary rubber hoses, it never gets tangled. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-329-8583.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. US Cellular, built for us.
Emeril Lagasse here, and I'm so excited to tell you about my French door air fryer 360. Extra large 26-quart capacity. Cook with up to 70% less calories from fat than deep frying. That's a big deal, my friend. 360 degrees of superheated air gives you fast, even cooking. My 10-in-1 French door air fryer 360 grills, air fries, dehydrates, roasts, bakes, broils, proofs, slow cooks, and toasts. This baby does it all. These French doors are a game changer. Look at how easy that is.
Now find out how you can try Emeril Lagasse's French Door Air Fryer 360 with 3 cooking tiers, fetch tool, air frying rack, and drip tray in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. Order now and you'll also get Emeril's Air Fryer Favorites recipe book. And we'll automatically upgrade you to our bonus cooking kit free. Plus find out how you can get free shipping. This offer will not last, so call or click now to order.
You're gonna love it. I guarantee it.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter, and oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4-cheese mac and cheese or burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
Finally, we are together.
And on Valentine's Day.
My dear, it's fate.
And you, my dear, are under arrest. FBI, sweet thing.
As if we're not busy enough.
It's Valentine's Day.
What are you guys doing tonight?
There's a meth lab speeding through our city. We need to focus.
You conned multiple women.
Oh, no.
Valentine's Day is the most dangerous day of the year.
Portion of KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back, everyone. Attention all job seekers. The Postal Service is looking for you. It will hold a job fair this Friday, February 24th from 10 to 3 at the Pasco Post Office on Court Street. The Postal Service says it plans to hire 1,000 new workers across Washington state. Candidates will have to pass a drug test and criminal background check. Open positions include mail handlers, clerks, and mail carriers. Now to a visit to a fairly unique public shooting range on Idaho State Park's land like you've never before experienced. It's the focus of tonight's Fly the Northwest.
We're at the Farragut Shooting Range Center. It's owned and operated by Idaho Fish and Game here in the Panhandle region. This place is a resource for people that hunt and enjoy shooting sports. So the range, we've got a 50-yard range, a 100-yard range, and a 200-yard range. People can shoot rifles, they can shoot handguns, muzzle loaders. We also have 4 shotgun trap shooting stations where people can bring clay pigeons and simulate an experience of shooting a bird on the wing, which is always fun. The range itself is staffed by one Idaho Fish and Game employee and then an awesome crew of volunteers, range safety officers that are all certified through the NRA, and safety is top priority. Idaho Fish and Game is the entity that is charged with managing the fish and wildlife resources for the people of the state of Idaho. So we don't receive any general tax fund. All of what we do is funded by the sale of licenses and tags. So we care a lot about our stakeholders, which are the sportsmen of Idaho. So we listen to them. We are here exclusively to serve them and to make sure that the fish and wildlife resources that Idaho is so well known for, that those continue well into the future for future generations. Archery opportunity is, I think it's really exciting. We have a 3D archery range that is a trail through the woods. It's about a mile long. People can walk through this trail and they'll find 20 different shooting stations that have different archery targets ranging from white-tailed deer to elk.
And the range is in the North Idaho near south end of Lake Pend Oreille, close to the town of Bayview. It's open every day of the year, but they do close it when there is too much snow.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jeff Jacobs.
So here's a note I got when I came to the TV station today. This comes from our chief meteorologist, Brianna, who works in the morning, warning me about, dare I say, snow in the forecast. Well, love you, Brianna, but I don't want to talk about that because I'm done with winter. All right, but yes, there is a possibility of that stuff happening tonight. I'm going to tell you more here in just a moment. Impacting you, there is a winter storm warning in effect over the Cascades right now through tomorrow morning. There is a winter storm advisory for the Blue Mountains as well overnight tonight. Traveling in those areas, yes, you will see some snowfall and accumulation going on over the passes. Colder temperatures tomorrow. Yep, they're going to be here for a few days. How much colder? Right around 20 degrees different than what we're at right now tomorrow at this time. So you'll have to dress accordingly before you head out the door tomorrow morning. Skywatch radar, we see some scattered shower activity moving through our region here and there right now. We do see those scattered snow showers already starting in the mountain passes, and that's going to increase overnight tonight. Wind speeds are starting to slow down like we mentioned earlier. We're now getting in to the teens to right around 10 miles per hour in some areas. We see a lot of the 11s here going on, and again, that'll diminish as we get past sunset here tonight, and temperatures will start to drop as well. Our current temperatures right now, well, we made it out of the 50s. Here we are in the mid-40s for the most part. 45 for Tri-Cities. Walla Walla's checking in at 40 degrees. Yakima 42. Toppenish at 46. Down the gorge towards Boardman, Hood River and all that, still holding on to the 40s. Our temperature trend, our average right now, well, we're right at what our average should be today. Okay, but tomorrow and the rest of the week, not the same story. Much, much cooler as we dip down below our average. And it starts tonight with our overnight lows getting down into the 20s. We see 21 degrees for the low in Yakima, Connell, even around Toppenish, Prosser, kind of right around that area. Pendleton's going to be feeling the same low temperature tonight. Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Milton Freewater, right around 25 degrees. This is when it's all going to start. Tomorrow, cloudy skies. There is a chance that we will see a snowflake or two tomorrow morning in the low-lying areas as the system kind of hits the mountain passes and still drops a little bit of snow as it comes over us tomorrow morning. But other than that, mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow afternoon. So don't freak out too much tomorrow morning if you wake up and see a few snowflakes here and there. But look at these highs for tomorrow. Yeah, these are high temperatures for tomorrow, at or maybe 1 degree above the freezing point. Futurecast, we'll put this into motion and see starting now that we do see a system that'll kind of move in later on tonight. That's a chance of more showers, maybe mixed snow showers, very, very light, things to clear up a little bit as we move through Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to stay cold with that. You're still going to see some scattered snow showers in the mountains, but 7-day forecast shows us here, look at this, that we're going to have cold temperatures all the way up until the weekend, and then by Sunday we should start to see things start to climb back up out of the 30s into the 40s and then into the 50s, kind of more comparable to where we should be for the beginning of March. Wow, we're already getting close to the beginning of March coming up. And then Yakima, 30 degrees tomorrow. Again, you'll see some snowflakes here and there tomorrow morning. That will lighten up and then have a cloudy day tomorrow afternoon. Much colder. Look at that high for Thursday of 22 degrees. And then stair-stepping up as we get towards this coming weekend. So like we've said before, February's not quite done with us. We've seen some wild Februarys wrap up in our area over the last number of years and do one last little act. but it seems to be acting up just a little bit again. So dress and be ready for some cold weather tomorrow. We'll be right back in a few moments with more KAPP KVEW local news at 6.
Honey, are you throwing the throw pillows?
Relaxing to watch TV can be hard.
Remember how they stack.
Okay. Actually, watching TV?
HBO app.
It's easy with Dish.
Honey, are you on the boudoir cushion?
What's a boudoir cushion?
Live TV and streaming apps together with Dish. Tuned in to you.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Hey, Dad, look. This is the magma chamber where all the magma's piled up until...
Us. What happened to us? When did we get so connected to our devices?
She's not answering.
What? And so disconnected from each other.
79 cents.
Something's gone missing. Our relationships, our conversations, our common sense.
LT, we gotta fix this.
But just because something is missing doesn't mean it can't be found again. It's time for a reset, not just with our phones, but with each other.
Sorry.
Join us in taking the phones down for 5 challenge.
So we're using our phones to put down our phones?
Exactly.
So we just put them down? I guess so.
Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud. Wow, that's good.
U.S. Cellular.
Depends on how much pressure there is.
Built for us.
You can't believe everything you hear. Like George Washington never chopped down that old cherry tree. But you can believe in big savings during the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Plus 4 years, no interest financing. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices, guaranteed. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Cut your ties to the fuel pump with an all-electric vehicle from Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. A 2023 all-electric Kia EV6 Win with all-wheel drive starts at just $54,135. Plus, get interest rates as low as 4.49%. Take delivery today or reserve a car that is on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Welcome back, everyone. This weekend, the Seasons Performance Hall is hosting the first ever Under the Valley Film Festival. It's a collection of independent filmmakers showcasing their work that might not get exposure elsewhere. Local filmmakers from the Yakima Valley and Pacific Northwest across the country in Florida and New Orleans, and even some across the world from Haiti, Argentina, and Israel have work to showcase. Organizers say it's all about solidifying the next generation of filmmakers and celebrating diversity.
A lot of people have been very scared about doing things like this because they don't know how it's going to be received. We wanted to take that chance on faith, and we hope that they'll reward us very well by making sure to support what's going to be for another generation.
Tickets are $25 online on the Seasons Performance Hall website. The event will be on Saturday from noon to 9 o'clock. The Tri-City Dust Devils' first pitch of the 2023 season is in April, and there's some new people to the coaching team, as well as some who have been around before. Cactus Jack Howell returns for his second year as the Dust Devils manager. Darrell Eberts, vice president and general manager with the Dust Devils, says Cactus Jack was a Major League Baseball player for more than a decade, which Eberts says brings some unique insight to the team.
Yeah, I mean, Jack is a longtime big league player himself. He played in the big leagues for about 10 seasons in the Angel system. So he is, I think he takes a unique approach in being able to connect with the players from a guy that's been there. So he knows what it takes to get to the big leagues, and I think that's really good for the players.
Ebert says Howell is called Cactus Jack Howell because he's from Tucson, Arizona. The Dust Devil season starts in just about 6 weeks. You can find information on purchasing tickets on our website, yaktroynews.com. And we have a lot more news ahead in our 6:30 half hour. A rocket will take the DNA of 4 American presidents and members of the Star Trek TV show to the final frontier. That story is new tonight at 6:30.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Today, my friend, you did it! You did it! You
Good
did
news! A new clinical study showed that Centrum Silver supports cognitive health in older adults. It's one more step towards taking charge of your health. So every day, you can say, it's Centrum Silver.
Among my patients, I often see them have teeth sensitivity as well as gum issues. Does it worry me? Absolutely. Sensodyne sensitivity and gum gives us a dual action effect that really takes care of both our teeth sensitivity as well as our gum issues. There's no question it's something that I would recommend.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more versatility and #1 rated durability and owner experience built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford tough truck can do for you. Get 0 for 36 plus 3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT, only at your local Ford dealer.
One of the main reasons you watch local news is weather. And around here, trust KAPP KVEW's First Alert Weather for the best and most complete weather forecast. Our powerful advanced technology help us track storms days before they arrive and help us forecast for our large region, because we know it's important to you to get the forecast right for your specific area.
It's the future of forecasting, and it's here now.
The best technology and the best team. First Alert Weather from KAPP KVEW Local News, helping keep you and your family safe.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Next ET, we're in London with the Royals and the Stars, mixing it up at the BAFTA Awards. Plus, our exclusive with Tatiana Ali ahead of her Bel Air homecoming. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on KAPP KVEW.
They represent excellence in public education. 9 local teachers will receive Crystal Apple Awards. These are the 9 teachers. All will receive $1,000 in a glass Crystal Apple, in addition to other gifts that area businesses donated. The ceremony takes place Thursday at 4:30 on March 9th at ESD 123 in Pasco. It's open to the public, and a big congrats to all of the Crystal Apple Award winners. 2 important cases heard today by the U.S. Supreme Court. Rulings could have a major impact regarding online speech and content moderation. Also, legal action taken over a deadly shooting outside the Valley Mall. What we've learned next. Plus, new concerns about chronic pain and the impact it can have on your brain. The news at 6:30 starts right now.
Now, KAPP KVEW Local News at 6:30.
Valley Mall in Union Gap is being sued by the family of a 23-year-old man shot and killed in the Sears parking lot in 2021. Police say he was an innocent bystander that got caught in a shootout between rival gang members. KAPP KVEW's Emily Goodell spoke with the lawyer representing the family, who says mall security knew the gangs were causing problems before the shooting and did nothing to stop it.
On August 22nd, 2021, rival gang members had a shootout in the parking lot of Sears at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, killing 23-year-old Jose Rivera de la Cruz, who authorities determined was an innocent bystander.
Mr. de la Cruz was standing outside with his friend, waiting to get picked up after having shopped at the mall that Sunday, and he was caught in the crossfire.
Lawyer Brian Mickelson, representing the victim's family in a lawsuit against CenterCal Properties, which operates the mall, claiming they failed to keep their shoppers, including De La Cruz, safe.
Not only is there a long history of gang violence, stabbings, shootings at this mall, on the particular day of the subject incident, they had notice as well of an ongoing feud between two violent street gangs.
The 911 call for shots fired came in at 4:31 p.m., but Mickelson says Slack messages show employees alerting security as early as 3:22 p.m., more than an hour before the shooting.
There have been reports of other gang members walking up to people, asking them whether they're affiliated with gangs. There are people flashing gang signs, showing off their gang colors, brandishing firearms.
In one case, the suit claims a man shopping with his family inside Claire's was attacked by a gang member. A concerned employee had already tried to call security about multiple times with no answer.
Whether they saw a weapon or not, that should immediately alert a reasonable person to take preventative measures and remove these dangerous persons from the premises, which was not done when they had plenty of time to do it.
The lawsuit claims violence at the mall involving gangs and inadequate security measures are an ongoing safety issue. De La Cruz, the third person murdered on mall property in 5 years, all in incidents connected to gang violence. Mickelson says the mall needs to be held responsible.
Their hope in filing this lawsuit is to send a message to the mall and the security company such that they change their ways of doing business so that this doesn't happen to somebody else's child.
In Union Gap, Emily Goodell, KAPP KVEW, Local News.
We reached out to the CenterCal Properties and got a statement back saying, quote, "While we were, of course, aware of the incident in 2021, we only very recently became aware of the existence of a lawsuit on behalf of the estate of Mr. De La Cruz. The event itself was a horrible, senseless tragedy that weighs heavily on all of us in the Yakima Valley community. While we have yet to digest the civil complaint, we do not perceive ourselves as mall managers or owners to be in any way responsible for the tragic events that occurred on that day. Our most sincere sympathies are extended to the families involved," end quote. You can find out who De La Cruz was and what he was doing for his family at yaktrinews.com. Now moving to the weather, parts of Washington state are about to get hit by another round of snowfall. Snow on the slopes remains a blessing for snowboarders and skiers that have flocked to Stevens Pass on US 2.
Every part of the season has its own kind of magic to it. Later in the season, it's just like chill, kind of cruising around. Right now, you can find, all this heavy snow, and, especially if you're snowboarding, you can, just really surf through that stuff. Pretty good.
Stevens Pass closed earlier for avalanche control. In fact, avalanche risk remains moderate to high in the Cascade backcountry. That's according to the Northwest Avalanche Center. So with that, let's go ahead and move to some local weather. Jeff, windy last night, and then we're just about to get super duper cold. Winter really showing us who's
What
boss.
else would you like this week, right? We're going to have a little bit of everything.
You're right.
The wind last night, cold starting tomorrow morning and quite a bit colder than what we've had, and the possibility of the white stuff. We're looking outside right now, our Legend Sky Cam network. You're seeing the traffic going by there on the freeway going over the Columbia River between Pasco and Richland. And our Skywatch radar is showing us some snowfall going on right now in the passes of the Blue Mountains as well as the Cascades. A winter storm warning in effect for the Cascades overnight tonight. A winter storm advisory in effect for the Blue Mountains overnight tonight in case you plan on traveling. And those light scattered rain showers kind of moving through our area all the way from Yakima down through Toppenish, Lower Valley, through Tri-Cities towards Walla Walla and Milton Free Water as well. Right now in the Tri-Cities, the mercury's starting to fall, 45 degrees. The winds are dying down as well. So there's some good news. There's some silver lining there. 42 degrees in Yakima and the winds sustaining about 14 miles per hour there. I'll tell you more about the white stuff coming up.
Thank you so much, Jeff. The Supreme Court is hearing back-to-back oral arguments this week in two pivotal cases that could reshape online speech and content moderation while carrying significant stakes for the wider internet. Chris Wynn is in Washington with more on the legal battle ahead and how it could ultimately impact you.
Lawsuits will be nonstop.
The Supreme Court taking on a case that could reshape the internet, hearing arguments from a family who has lost a daughter and who now wants big tech to pay.
We continue in this fight because we're seeking justice.
The Gonzalez family's long legal fight started when their 23-year-old daughter Noemi was killed in Paris in 2015. Noemi Gonzalez was at a bistro when ISIS terrorists unleashed gunfire, part of a coordinated citywide attack of bombings and shootings that killed 129 people. She was the only American.
It was a terrible, horrible moment in my life that I cannot describe. The pain.
The Gonzalez family now wants YouTube and parent company Google to be held liable for Noemi's death. Their lawyer arguing to the Supreme Court Tuesday that because YouTube not only allowed ISIS videos on its site, but also recommended those videos to certain viewers, the social media site should be held responsible for aiding and abetting terrorism.
When they go beyond delivering to what you've asked for, to start sending things you haven't asked for, our contention is they're no longer acting as an interactive.
But Google says they are protected by the broad contours of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. Congress passed the law in 1996 to shield internet platforms from being sued for harmful content posted by third parties on their sites. Google's lawyer argued that shield also applies to any recommendations the site might make.
Exposing websites to liability for implicitly recommending third-party content defies the text and threatens today's internet.
This is the first time the Supreme Court has considered the scope of Section 230. The justices acknowledged that if the Gonzalez family succeeds, that would open up tech companies to a flood of lawsuits and would require social media sites to heavily police the content posted. And the justices also asked whether it's Congress and not the courts who should clarify how much tech companies are protected.
Every other industry has to internalize the costs of its conduct. Why is it that the tech industry gets a pass? A little bit unclear. On the other hand, we're a court. We really don't know about these things. These are not like the 9 greatest experts on the internet. Isn't that something for Congress to do, not the court?
The Gonzalez family has lost the case at the lower courts, but they continue to search for justice after the death of their daughter at the hands of terrorists.
Nothing is going to give me back my daughter, but at least that is something good is going to be accomplished.
Now, if the Gonzalez family wins its appeal, it could open a torrent of lawsuits. That liability could also apply to individual users. And tonight we're tracking developing news out of Russia. President Vladimir Putin says he's suspending participation in the last remaining nuclear weapons agreement with the U.S. Nuclear weapons tests have been banned since the Cold War. Putin said today Russia should be ready to start testing again if the U.S. does. Suspending the treaty is not as potentially alarming as leaving it. The U.S. is waiting to see what Russia actually does. And that speech comes just after President Biden visited Ukraine and shortly before President Biden was set to speak in Poland. He's trying to drum up support for Ukraine among NATO allies.
1 year into this war, Putin no longer doubts the strength of our coalition, but he still doubts our conviction. He doubts our staying power. He doubts our continued support for Ukraine. He doubts whether NATO can remain unified.
He also announced that the U.S. will host a NATO summit next year. Ukraine is not a part of that alliance, but President Biden has repeatedly said that the U.S. will get involved if Russia attacks a NATO country. If you have outstanding student loans, expect to resume paying them back sometime later this year. A moratorium on student loan payments took effect under President Trump in 2020, and President Biden continued it. It's possible that payments won't restart until August. Because the moratorium lasted this long, this will mark the first time some former students have had to pay their debt. The future of President Biden's student debt forgiveness plan remains in question as it faces legal challenges. And a fight brewing over plans to develop land that's currently home to a mobile home park in eastern Washington. A plan to develop the property means everyone living there will now have to find new homes. Douglas Brunel has been living in the same mobile home for 17 years. He's retired and lives on a fixed income. February 13th, at a public hearing held by the city of Cheney, he learned that he could be kicked out of his own home if a rezoning plan receives approval.
I was angry, extremely angry, because my life, my very life, is being threatened by the owner of the trailer park, and by the city of Cheney.
The city of Cheney says this redevelopment plan started in October of last year. It was a proposal to rezone the property, possibly to allow multifamily homes or a commercial use building. So far, the city's planning commission has made recommendations to council members who are set to vote next Tuesday to decide whether or not to give final approval. Millions of Americans struggle with pain. Next, a frightening new link between chronic pain and the toll it could potentially take on your mind. And get ready for dropping mercury as the weather will turn bitterly cold in the mid-Columbia. Jeff's forecast, that's next on KAPP Local News at 6:30.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
This week, get a sneak look at Grey's Anatomy as Meredith says farewell to Seattle on
Good Morning America
and Tessa Thompson live. Then Colin Farrell and fellow Academy Award nominees on the movie everyone is talking about as GMA counts down to the Oscars.
I just got the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra from US Cellular. With the most powerful processor yet, it can game smoother than ever. With nightography, it can take selfies in low light. Click. And with a longer battery life and US Cellular's 5G network, it can stream my favorite shows around the clock.
Amazing. Can it go back in the back?
Yeah, it can go back into the bank.
Okay. Did you just kiss the phone?
The new Samsung Galaxy S23. Free for everyone from US Cellular.
I kissed it? Yes.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
You are our winner of $1,000 to help out Mustangs for Mustangs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brett.
I have the privilege of running this organization. It's been the privilege of my life, but there are literally hundreds of people making this happen every month. $1,000, that's food for 6 families for a week. We can literally deliver it and just pack their refrigerator for 7 days.
STCU's Volunteers Count honors volunteers in our communities. Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
I know there's conflicting information about Dupuytren's contracture.
I thought I couldn't get treatment yet.
Well, people may think that their contracture has to be severe to be treated, but it doesn't. If you can't lay your hand flat on the table, talk to a hand specialist.
But what if I don't want surgery?
Well, then you should find a hand specialist certified to offer non-surgical treatments.
What's the next step?
Visit findahandspecialist.com today to get started.
Welcome back, everyone. A new study finds a link between chronic pain and increased risk of dementia. The study found people who walked at a pace over 40 steps a minute reduced their dementia risk by 57% by taking 6,300 steps daily. However, in a 60-year-old with chronic pain, the hippocampus of the brain aged approximately 1 year. The risk rose as the number of the body's pain sites increased. Hippocampal volume was nearly 4 times smaller in those with chronic pain in 5 or more body sites compared with those of only 2. That's the equivalent of 8 years of aging. The CDC says at least 1 in 5 people in the U.S. live with long-lasting pain. The study is published in the Journal of Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jeff Jacobs.
And welcome to a Tuesday. For a lot of us, this is the first start to this work week, and for the rest of us, we're kind of confused which day it is, like I was earlier this evening. But here we are, and darkness has fallen, and we're through the wind we had last night, and now we're going to be talking about snow. Cascades right now, a winter storm warning in effect until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for the Blue Mountains, a winter storm advisory. So yes, snowfall in both areas if you're traveling, both of those lasting till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, we're waking up to much colder temperatures throughout the day and the next several days. How much colder? Stay right here. I'll let you know in just a few moments. Skywatch radar, we do see these little areas in blue of snowfall still hitting the Cascades down towards the south into central Oregon, as well as up along the Blue Mountains. We're going to see rain showers continue off and on through our low-lying areas from Yakima all the way through to Walla Walla and around towards Dayton. And wind speeds starting to diminish a little bit. They've come down a little over the last hour. We're seeing around 10 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, around 14 in Yakima. Moses Lake is really calming down there, as well as Ellensburg, where you seem to always get a little bit more of the old W blowing there. Temperatures right now starting to come down as well. We're seeing 42 for Yakima, 44 for our friends in Moses Lake, 45 Tri-Cities, jumping over the river to Hermiston at 41, and Pendleton already cooling down quite a bit at 37 degrees, going to get even cooler. Here is the average for this day in history right now, temperature-wise, just above 50 at 51 degrees. We hit that average today, but that trend, we're going to be below our average for the next several days as the thermometer really starts to dip down. Cloudy overnight tonight with those cooler overnight lows in the mid to lower 20s for the most part. Yakima, Connell, looking at 21 degrees tonight. Tri-Cities and Walla Walla at 25. Pendleton, Ukiah, that area, going to be getting chilly this evening. You're going to have the heater on quite a bit overnight tonight. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. Now, there is a chance you'll wake up tomorrow morning. Maybe on your commute, you'll see a snowflake or two here or there, but not too much. We're not expecting. We're going to expect to see a mostly cloudy sky tomorrow throughout our low-lying areas. But look at these temperatures. These are your highs for tomorrow. Quite a bit cooler than the mid-50s we saw in some of our areas today. So yeah, just at or barely above the freezing point tomorrow. So dress accordingly when you head out the door tomorrow morning. Let's put our future cast into motion here starting right now and see how the system is going to kind of move through. Blue is snow. Green, rain. You're going to see a little mixture of that as well moving through. Then some clearing as we get through Wednesday night and here into Thursday. We'll see some systems move south down into Oregon, but we will see a chance of rain showers and mixed rain and snow showers at times when we move through the next few days. All right, 7-day forecast, my friends. We have 33 degrees tomorrow, giving you a chance of seeing a snowflake or two tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy throughout the afternoon and cooler temperatures all the way through Friday, gradually warming up as we get into the weekend and back into the 50s. Yay! We're excited about that by next week. Yakima, 30 degrees tomorrow for your high, 22 for Thursday. And then, yeah, let's just make it to Sunday where we can start getting back to a little bit warmer temperatures. Look at that overnight low around Thursday of 9 degrees. So it's going to be chilly tomorrow. Be ready for it, and don't be surprised if you see a snowflake or two tomorrow morning. Stay right there. We'll be right back with more of your KVEW local news at 6:30 right after the break.
The President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended, so there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last, plus 4 years no interest. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Your lucky numbers can win you $50,000 in cash during Wild Horse Resort and Casino's $95,000 Crack the Safe. Every Friday and Saturday in February, we're giving away cash and prizes, including your chance to unlock up to $50,000 in cash. Any combination can win. Start earning your entries today. This Sunday, one lucky winner will win $10,000 cash. More fun, more excitement, more chances to win. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
Hey, Dad, look. This is the magma chamber where all the magma's piled up until...
Us. What happened to us? When did we get so connected to our devices?
She's not answering.
What? And so disconnected from each other.
79 cents.
Something's gone missing. Our relationships, our conversations, our common sense.
LT, we gotta fix this.
But just because something is missing doesn't mean it can't be found again. It's time for a reset, not just with our phones, but with each other.
Sorry.
Join us in taking the phones down for 5 challenge.
So we're using our phones to put down our phones?
Exactly.
So we just put them down.
I guess so. Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud. Wow, that's good.
U.S. Cellular.
Depends on how much pressure there is.
Built for us.
Prosser Memorial Health's Dermatology Center in Benton City is now offering 25% off select Juvederm fillers. This service helps reduce facial wrinkles, provides lifting and fullness, and can be used for lip enhancement. This offer is for a limited time. To schedule an appointment with PMH dermatologist Dr. Nylander and nurse practitioner Carmina Bowen, please call the Dermatology Center at 509-588-4555.
It's the extended President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Check this out. Scientists may have solved a mystery about red marks seen on Jupiter's moon, Europa. They suspect it's a new type of salty ice. Europa has an ocean below a thick layer of ice. Researchers think the red streaks on the moon's surface come from a combination of water, salt, and pressure. They do not match any substance found on Earth. Scientists tried to recreate it in a lab, and they ended up making a new kind of solid crystal, which scientists believe they are witnessing on the moon's surface. While we've sent civilians into space, we've landed men on the moon. Now one company plans to send authenticated DNA from several U.S. presidents into deep space, but it's not an episode of Star Trek, it's real life. The story tonight from ABC's Will Gans.
Space, the final frontier.
Some of America's most prominent leaders are taking a page out of Captain Kirk's book.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Presidents George Washington, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Ronald Reagan are headed to outer space. Or at least their hair is. On President's Day, space burial company Celestis announcing their plan to launch authentic DNA from the 4 presidents into space on their upcoming Enterprise flight, a deep space time capsule. This mission marking the first time in history that any president has gone to space in any fashion, symbolically or otherwise. But why are they doing it? Celestis telling us in a statement, the philosophical goal for sending DNA into deep space is twofold. First, to assist in the understanding of the human role in large-scale space migration. And second, to establish a scientifically appropriate and traceable path for the actual spread of human DNA throughout the solar system. And the presidents aren't the only DNA samples set to take flight.
Gentlemen, beam me aboard.
Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry and original cast members Nichelle Nichols, James Doohan, and DeForest Kelley are all headed to space too. All of these samples will launch from Cape Canaveral on the brand new ULA Vulcan on its maiden flight to send a lunar lander to the moon later this year. Then this capsule with the president's and Star Trek star's DNA will journey further to potentially be discovered by a distant civilization.
And if you'd like to include your own DNA or the cremated remains of your loved ones on the space flight, tickets start at $12,500. Jeff, I want to know what the conversation with President Washington back centuries ago when they asked for a piece of his hair.
Yeah, what do you need this for?
Yeah, exactly.
There's not too much of it, but let me grab a wig or two
Absolutely.
here. Yeah. Hey, stay really close, folks. We're going to have a final look at your crazy weather coming up in a few moments.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Dear winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We so amazing.
The stylish Chevy Equinox RS. And Chevy Blazer RS.
So captivating.
You don't have to be an influencer to be an influencer.
The crowd go crazy.
The RS family of Chevy SUVs. Definitely worth a follow. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2023 Equinox models, or get $1,000 cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
What are the biggest operational challenges on your farm? Data management and displays? Navigating the John Deere Operations Center? Equipment setup and in-field adjustments? If you have precision agriculture questions, we have the Precision Ag Answers. Join RDO Equipment Company's team of experts for Precision Ag Answers, a collection of videos covering John Deere precision ag technology. Everything from quick tips to basic how-tos and in-depth tutorials.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let M&M Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Floor scuffs, tears, and nasty scratches. Forget them for good with Ruby Sliders, the chair leg covers that stretch to fit most chairs and make floor marks a thing of the past. Slide it here, slide it there, slide it anywhere. Just slip them on and keep your floors looking like new. They fit any size or shape furniture leg and glide effortlessly. Forget flimsy felt pads and caps that don't fit. Just stretch it on and slide it. Call or click now to get Ruby Sliders for as low as 99 cents with free shipping.
Ford Escape. It offers bliss with cross-traffic alert. And it's an IIHS top safety pick. It's built for America. Get 0 for 36 months plus $1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take one final look at the weather. Temperatures are about to drop big time.
Get ready for tomorrow and dress accordingly on your way out the door tomorrow. Yeah, we're looking at the Cascades right now. The winter storm warning is in effect through tomorrow morning, as well as for the Blue Mountains winter storm advisory through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Colder temperatures starting tomorrow? Oh, most definitely. It's going to be 15 to 20 degrees cooler tomorrow than it was today. And that's going to hang around for a couple days. And then we should start seeing the temperature start to rise as we get towards the latter part of this weekend to get gradually back up to where we were today.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way too.
We're hoping
until
so.
Spring. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much for watching. KAPP KVEW Local News is always on at yaktraynews.com. We're back tonight at 11.